Hello everyone, welcome back to our Call of Duty World at War custom zombie mapping tutorial series. Today we are going to be doing the zombie spawning. Now this will be a very quick tutorial because we already kind of have the zombie from the second or third tutorial if you remember. We basically put we kept the zombies from Sniper Bolt's map. The zombie, the spawners, everything. That way we can make it a little bit easier on ourselves. That way it was already there. So yeah, one thing I would like to note before we start the tutorial, look at this beautiful taskbar. Do you guys recognize what that is? That's Windows 7, but I'm on Windows 8. Ooh, yeah, I just used a really awesome mod, and yeah, it looks like I'm using Windows 7. I love the look of Windows 7. That's why I did it. I just wanted to point that out in case you guys were curious, thinking I switched computers or something. I didn't. This is the exact same map, so yeah, not that that's really relevant. Anyways, so what we're going to do. Well, first I'm going to point out that I extended the rooms. So as you can see, I've created this little room here and this little room here, and I've also added a barrier on this wall, which wasn't here before, right across the mystery box. And the reason I did this is because we need to add a floor right outside our barriers, because if we didn't, the zombies would fall through the map. And because of physics, yeah, that wouldn't work. They need a floor to walk on because of physics. We can't just make physics feel left out, you know what I mean? So we added a floor here, and I added the walls so that it wouldn't look stupid. Um, so while you're gonna need to do that, if you forget how to add brushes, you can just go ahead and rewatch the making rooms video. We cover brushes and stuff like that and cutting. But yeah, that's basically what I did. And you may notice that I have this little section back here, and you're like, well, why didn't you just take this wall right here and just kind of clip it out? Like, why do you need that little subsection there? And that's because we're gonna put the zombie back here. Why? Because we don't want players to see the zombies spawn. And I'm gonna show you guys that right now. So if you guys remember from our earlier video, if I can find it, there it is. We kept our zombie and our dog and our spawn struct for our dog, which I moved by accident. But anyways, here's our zombie. He looks beautiful, doesn't he? And if we go ahead and hit N, we can bring up his KVPs, which should be set by default. We shouldn't have to touch these right now. But in the case that you didn't follow my first couple of tutorials and didn't use the script placer I did, then what we're going to do is, what you're going to have to do is go to right click, go to actor, access zombie, jur, burr, SS honor. Now, as you can see, they look the same, but this guy is not going to have the same KVPs that this guy does. So what you're going to need to do is go ahead into him, and I'm just going to enter 1, just to show you guys how you can do it, but you can just do start zone spawners. I don't think that's the exact key and value pair, but all you have to do is enter in the key. There's a few that you need, target name being the more important one. Or, well, they're all equally important, but the most potent one, and then value start zone spawners. That's for zoning, which we're going to get into later. I'm just going to delete this character because I already have one. But yeah, so if you don't have this zombie, I'm going to take the keys and values that we have, and I'm just going to paste them in a paste bin for you. That way you don't have to go ahead and enter them all in. I showed you how to enter them in, but that way you know what to enter in for your keys and value pairs. But since we just took it from the first tutorial, we can just go ahead and move this. And I'm going to put this guy right here. And I've got to rotate him so that he's actually facing the right way. And here's our map. And so basically where the zombie is, okay, you're not going to see this model in the map. If you no clip or whatever over here, you're not going to see this model. But this is more of a reference point. This is a location, a spawn location. So wherever you put this zombie is where the zombies are going to spawn. Now, if you had this, say, over here, like right in front of the window, which would be really bad, or even over here where they could see it in the peripherals, they're going to see the zombies spawning in, and that doesn't look right. That looks very cheesy in a map. So you want to have it out of the player's sight, and they're not going to be able to see around corners unless they're at the Terminator. So I think you're okay in that aspect, and you just need to put them behind a wall. I did the same thing over here. So as you can see, the barrier's here, and there's even another wall here, but I still am going to put the zombie right here. And I'm just going to copy and paste this one because I'm too lazy to go ahead and make another one. So we can just go ahead and rotate him so he's facing the same way. And there we have a zombie going for this, or sorry, a spawner for this window and a spawner for this window. And our zombies are done. Look at that. That was easy, right? Our dog spawner, that's already done too. That I already put in our map. It used to be like over here, and I just dragged it over because this one's a little bit interesting. Unlike the zombie, we have the dog here, right? And you would think, if we're using the premise that the zombies spawn in the location where the zombie model is, then the dogs must spawn where the dog model is. But that is not true, actually. This dog isn't really as important. He just signifies that there's going to be dogs in the map. So he's just kind of there. Where they're going to spawn is actually on the spawn or the script struct, sorry. So we are going to need the dog in the map, and if you don't have him, here's the keys and values. They will again be in the paste bin below. But if you don't have him, all you need to do is right click and go to actor zombie dog. It's actually really simple. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. But that's all you need to do to add a dog in there, and enter those keys and values. To add a script struct, just go to right click, and it's actually been a while. I think you just go to script struct. Yeah, it's really that easy. And then you're going to enter only one key VP is really needed, and that's start zone spawner dog. And this is also for the zoning, which we're going to get into later. And basically, where this red box is, where this little script struct is in your map, those are going to be the locations where you see the, lightning from God or Satan or whatever coming down into your map, porting a dog into your map. So that's all about. So it's a little bit different from the zombie in that spec. I'm just going to put it on that little intersection there. And yeah, once you've done that, you put dogs and zombies in your map. And you can go ahead and compile it and test it. Well, the only problem is now we don't have what are they called? Path nodes. We don't have path nodes yet, so the zombies might not work properly. They might get stuck in places. They might not even come into the map at the moment. But I don't like doing the path nodes until later on because they do get in the way. You can filter them from the view so you can't see them, but it's easier really just to add them later and get the mapping done first. So that's what I'm all about. But yeah, you can go ahead and compile your map. It might work, but we will need to add the path nodes in there, which we will get into later on. But I don't like that doing that in the early design stages. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please go ahead and leave it a like, comment, or even subscribe if you're feeling happy today. You can go ahead and check the social links in my description. And once again, the keys and value pairs are in a paste bin below. And I will see you guys in the next video.